Tortora Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Wake Up Call DT.com, here with the Commissioner of the American Athletic Conference, Mike Aresco. Mike, as always, good to have you.
Great to see you, Dan. Great to have you here.
We're talking about this pretty looking trophy here.
Good looking trophy, it really is. Good design. I didn't have anything to do with the design. I like it.
So, just what you can say about, being in Newport, Rhode Island. I mean, just a stone's throw away in Providence, you have your offices. Coming out to Newport, just the importance of it and just the atmosphere here always seems very special.
It is. It's a unique event because, one, we're the only ones who probably do it this way with a massive clam bake, with a really nice dinner for the bowl people on Sunday night. Because it's Newport, we can take advantage of the beautiful ocean. The pavilion out here, the clam bake is we've been very fortunate with the weather. Yeah, last year, so 12 years in a row. We took gold reps and TV executives out to Marble House on Sunday night. Had a really nice dinner. So you can take advantage of the Newport mansions. We used to have a dinner at the New York Yacht Club. They had a function this year. We couldn't have it there. So Newport has so many attractions. Plus our families love being here. Many of the coaches and ADs bring their families, as well as obviously the players. And I think everybody just loves being here. We had a boat cruise yesterday for some of the people. We have golf every year over at the Newport Golf Club. I think we had 40 people play. It's an event. It's not just, you're not just having some media days in a hotel. And I hope we've got 2 years, another 2 years on this particular contract, and our plan is to stay. So Brian just came in, our head of officiating. So we're thrilled with this area. And even though we are moving the office to Dallas, as you know, we intend to stay here for the indefinite future.
I had 2 lobsters.
That's not bad. I ate some of that pepper thing with the sausage.
Okay, you had that.
I had that and lobster, and so that's why I didn't eat 2 lobsters. But that other stuff was pretty good too.
Yeah.
But what do you think the record was this year?
I saw a few of the players go up a few times, but I don't know. I don't know if they got to double digits yet. I know that I taught 3 people how to eat a lobster, which was fun. And I'm going to be honest, I totally ad-lib. And if you take the claw off and you bend it, if you pull it out this way, then it'll actually pull through all the meat and it'll have the hook on it and everything.
I don't even think I knew that. I didn't really need to use the cracker. As it turned out, they had cracked it a little bit.
Yeah, they broke the tail.
Yeah, they really did. And also the claws too had a little, they had already cracked the claws a little bit, so I was able to deal with that. Now, I took a real gamble yesterday. I didn't put the bib on.
Yeah.
Mine always falls off.
Yeah.
And Vern, I think Vern and I, his fell off. I had to get it on. And they always fall off. So I decided to I had a white check shirt on. Took a real gamble, but somehow.
You're okay?
Yeah. When you crack those claws, all the water pours out at you.
Yeah.
You end up making a mess. Now, I really admire the Navy kids. They come in their dress whites, and somehow, some way, they keep them clean eating those lobsters. I think the record last year was 9 or 10. Somebody from UCF, one of the 300-pound linemen.
Yeah.
Who knows this year? But we had a good crowd, and again, that whole thing makes this fun. Our media day is fun, and we're a conference, as I said, we're like JetBlue. We have to do things differently. We have to have a different vibe if we're going to really prosper in the conference, and that's essentially it.
And you and I have had the opportunity to speak on a lot of different things going into the American Athletic Summer Kickoff, where we spoke on UConn, we spoke on 11 schools or 12, the ESPN TV deal.
Those are things I talked about today.
Right, and we had addressed a lot of those. How did you kind of go into this? Because you spent a lot of time, obviously, as you had told me, on the success of the conference, what you've done, the P6, the importance that it's not just a narrative, but it's a reality, and a little bit of time on these other pieces that had come up, but you did get to ask some questions about it. Just what you could say about kind of navigating the climate and, addressing some of the things that are going on, because as the commissioner, everybody's looking to you for that central message.
Yeah, and I think the message had to be, we are a powerful conference, we're going ahead with P6. I didn't want this UConn thing to dominate. I wanted us to move on, to make sure everybody understood where we were coming from. We're not shying away from the challenge. We're going to get there. look at the history, look at the great players we've had, look at the great players we're going to have, look at the recruiting, look at the new coaches, look at all the positives. I think that was really important to send that message. And, I think I also talked a little about how we might stay at 11. And I also talked about the great value of ESPN and the ESPN contract without wanting to get into adjustments. The truth is, they've done a really good job for this. Make sure that people understood that contract really validates this world. So I think I got the messages I wanted out there, and I felt that in the end, the TV deal is not an end in itself. It's very important. It really validates it. It's important to get some revenue, be able to compete. But our goals have not changed. We want to be an autonomous conference. We want to have a contract goal. Then we will reach the pinnacle. And then we'll never have any issues about our kids feeling in any way that there's something like
The Power 5 is a media-created term. If the media never created it, it wouldn't have existed. The Power 6, because of this Power 5 conversation, you've brought up the Power 6, and the autonomy group is a legislative term. It's something that, is actually done with great detail and has specific needs that have to be met. You brought up autonomy a lot. You just brought it up again. That's the legislative piece of it. Where do you feel the American is at, and how difficult is it to get into the legislative piece of it, where the Big 10, the Big 12, the Pac-12, the ACC, and the SEC would say, okay, you're allowed to be in here, or is this an NCAA thing where they say? How much do you know about kind of where it goes?
I think it's cool. I think you really have to have support of the 5. Not going to be easy, I have no illusions about that, but we made huge progress. I'm in meetings with them all the time. I'm now the vice chair of the CCA, Commissioner Association. I've been the FBS chair. I'm in all the meetings, and they're complimentary of what we've done. They know that we're making progress. You have a group like that, it's kind of closed, never let you voluntarily let you in unless you really make a persuasive, strong case. And we understand that we may have to take further action down the road to really fight hard. But part of it is just being successful. TCU probably ended up in the Big 12 because they won the Rose Bowl and it showed they had a successful program and they were attracted to the Big 12. In our case, it's trying to get an entire conference put into a different category.
And for you, you've always been clear about, this isn't just one team or two teams, one institution or three institutions, but the entire group. And I had spoken with some coaches about that, where, some schools are in Power 5 status because they're in the conference, but not necessarily that they compete that way. When you look at this conference and what you have, and Wichita State obviously outside football for everything, and the Navy for football only, when you put it all together and you look at all these schools, do you feel that top to bottom you have that ability to pick it up and say, this is an autonomous group? Look at each of these institutions on and off the field, on and off the courts of life. They're doing what they need to do. They are finding success.
Yeah, I think that's really important. They are. It's not just how competitive they are on the field, on the court, because they're doing what they need to do there. But they're doing everything the autonomous conference, even without research, they're still paying costs. They're still doing everything they're doing. We have the same issues they have with our players. We have just as many draft picks as they do. We have players sitting out bowl games, just like the P5. You don't really see that with the other P5 as much. We have the same issues, they have. But more than that, academically, on the top, the Naval Academy, Tulane, SMU, Tulsa, all the important regional universities we have. Many are state universities and not the flagship. It's very important. UCF, USF, ECU, very important regional medical center, Cincinnati. These are outstanding institutions. Temple, and they serve a different purpose than some of the state institutions. And some of them serve a very similar purpose. But they're good schools and they belong. They're big schools. They're not this league. As I said, non-P5 don't do what we've done. They don't win championships. They're not that good in basketball. We graduate our players. Take cost percentage, we do all the stuff they do. We have a huge initiative on mental health that we started long before P5 to hit our Powerful Minds campaign. So I'm pleased that we're doing everything they're doing, that we look like them, that we're acting like them. That probably wasn't true 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Certainly some of these schools had sporadic success, but they didn't have sustained success like they're having now. And they didn't look the way they look now. Maybe Memphis didn't look the same. Maybe some of the other schools didn't look the same. Maybe UCF didn't look the same. But look at them now.
Yeah.
And so we're getting there.
Rod Carey has his first American Athletic Conference Summer Kickoff. Mike Houston has his. Dana Holgerson. What can you say about the additions we have?
As I said in the speech, good additions, Dan. You know, Dana, of course, was huge because he comes from the P5 and came from a successful program. And he's got Houston ties, and we think we can keep him for a long time. He's a great coach, real personality, and will really be great for the league. Rod Carey's had tremendous success at Northern Illinois. He'll do a fine job at Temple. And Mike Houston's a great hire. First of all, his FCS team is beating us quite a bit. You know, he's got a really good program there. And ECU is on the cusp. You know, they've got talent there. I could see it last year when they gave USF a heck of a game. They gave UCF a heck of a game. They had an unfortunate fumble, or they'd have been right there. So they have talent. ECU, these three coaches are going to make a real impact.
Grandpa Ken Niumatalolo, he's been around for over a decade. He is by far the longest tenured coach inside of the American. What can you say about Ken Niumatalolo?
Well, first of all, he's a great guy. We all love him. He's done a terrific job. He goes without saying. But you know, they slipped a little this past year, and they made some serious changes. Kenny's not sitting back saying, well, you know, I've beaten Army 14 years in a row. I've done what I need to do. Not at all.
Yeah.
He's as hungry as he was before. Wants to win. You know, and it's great to have him there that long because I think again, I can't speak for him, but he just loves what the Naval Academy represents, the kind of players he gets, the kind of quality kids he gets, hard to play, and just wonderful kids. You don't know what they're going to be facing when they graduate, so it's pretty poignant. And Kenny's got great values, great pedigree. One of his sons played at BYU, right? From Hawaii, strong man of faith, great family. You know, Kenny's got all the attributes, and he's a great guy. And we're just thrilled he's been there that long. Finally learned how to pronounce his name. Niumatalolo. Once you know it, it's not that bad. It looks a little daunting when you first see it.
Yeah, you just follow the bouncing ball. Niumatalolo.
Yeah. Exactly. There's a flow there. Niumatalolo. I think several years ago I finally got it. And,
yeah. You're good with it. Well, and finally, you've spoken about staying at 11. You said we're not going to just bring in a team for the sake of bringing in a team. We're not going to rate a conference for the sake of rating a conference. If they call us, you said today they have my number. If they want to call, we'll obviously sit down and we'll listen. But what are the coming months going to be with that? Because obviously institutions will want to know, coaches will want to be kept abreast of it. How do you tackle the 11 or 12 conversation?
We'll make that decision fairly soon. We had a good discussion this week with the ADs. We know we're stronger than Tortora. We just can't make a determination yet. The other problem right now is we haven't finalized the kind of exit, so we don't want to make statements like, well, we will seek a waiver, we will do this, we will do that. We don't know yet. We don't know when the contact will be.
Yeah.
We may negotiate an exit after 1920, maybe a year later. We're not sure. So once that gets resolved, then we start talking to ESPN. We hope that's a short conversation, but I didn't want to put ESPN on the spot in any way. That's going to be a factor too. ESPN's got to know. So we have to know. In a very short period of time. We're talking a matter of weeks, not months.
Yes.
We'll know that we're going to stay at 11. And as I said, we're not making phone calls. There are only a few teams that might add some value to this conference. We're not even sure about that. They don't seem to have any interest in the conference. We're not calling people. So, we're going to get this resolved probably in the next several weeks.
That coming from Mike Aresco, the Commissioner of the American Athletic Conference, and myself, Dan Tortora of Wake Up College, Dan Tortora. Mike, as always, you're a mainstay on the show, and I can't honestly thank you enough. I'm doing it on camera now. I usually do it on the radio, but it means a lot to just be treated the way that I have been since walking in here at the end of the Big East, the beginning of the American, and just the professionalism and everything you brought to my show and the relationship that you've given me. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you, Dan. Well, first of all, I've said it many times. You know our conference. You believe in our conference. You gave us a shot. There are a lot of media that didn't pay any attention to us and didn't give us really much of a chance. But not only did you do that, you wanted to keep in touch with us over the years, doing interviews with me, and you clearly do your homework. I love talking to someone who's a pro who knows what we're all about. knows what questions to ask, and knows what's going on in college athletics. And, you know, I enjoy dealing with the media, and I like the media. You know, they're good people. And some are more knowledgeable than others. Some don't obviously have as much emphasis on our conference, and you have, and I just appreciate it. I'd love to have you, you know, here in Newport every year. We'll be on that show. As long as you're willing to have me, I'm always happy to be on the show.
Well, I appreciate it as always. Mike Aresco once again.